killed him later anyway.
Right.
But that's what it was. It was.
And who picked the capos? Did the Germans decide who would become a capo, or the Jews themselves decided?
Yes, from Koski, he had his army. Yeah, he had a whole army that worked for him.
Did you ever see him?
He came into to Auschwitz the same time we came in.
Really?
We came with the same transport with him.
Right. It was the last one out of.
Yeah, out of the ghetto.
Right.
But there still were left over 500 people.
After you left.
Yeah, which were hiding. They didn't want to, they didn't.
But they were
go.
able to stay in hiding there.
They stayed in hiding, and then when the Germans found out, they found them. They took him to make a grave, to dig a. And they wanted to shoot all of them. But it was too late already, because the Russians were coming in. So the Germans ran away, and some 500 survived this way.
Wow. These were all people who had just hid at the end.
They were hiding, yes, they didn't want to go. Well, some people that I know that survived.
That survived that way.
Yeah.
How did they know to hide?
How? Because they knew already. Look, the ghetto was they from 1940. This was already 44, the end of 44, 45. So they knew what the Germans were doing.
Right.
So they didn't. They were hiding. What could they lose? They would be dead anyway.
Right. And when you were in the ghetto, did you ever leave at all? I guess actually, did you ever leave the Varta ghetto or the Lodz ghetto?
Oh, not the Lodz ghetto, never.
Never.
No.
Did people ever leave for food?
No, we used to get rations. We stayed in line. See, when my father was working in Marishin, it was not far, it was on the border of the Polacks. Poles used to come in to work.
Inside the ghetto?
Not inside, but they used to see each other. And my father smuggled some, he used to get some people came, a lot of German people came to the ghetto, they were rich. And they brought like jewelry,
German Jews.
watches, yeah. And that's the way my father used to take, they used to sell this for food. There was no money.
Right.
So my father got some Poles there that were working, and he gave them sometimes a watch or a ring or something, and he brought food. And he brought food for them. And that's why he was doing a little business. We used to have, exchange.
Right.
Yeah. And to our house they came in a lot of people. They gave us jewelry, watches, or rings, or necklace, or earrings, whatever, or some clothing. The German Jews had good stuff.
Right.
And my father used to do like that. So they got food for this.
Your father sounds like Grandpa, like that.
Oh, he was
Grandpa Moshe. They both were very smart in this way.
That's why he got killed in the camp. He was alive when the Germans were leaving. Then the Germans came back and they opened up the magazines, the food magazines, so the people should come out to get food. But he had plenty of food himself. There were a lot of people, yeah, because he also had their German work, Polish. He gave him a pair of shoes, and they gave him food. And there were some boys, they couldn't go already. They were so weak. They could not go and get some food. And he went to get food for the other people. And that's when the Germans came back and they were shooting everybody random,
This was at the end of the war?
The end, the same day, the next day, the Russians were there.
The Russians were there already?
The next day.
It was like the last day of
The last day. And they had run away a day before.
Germans.
The Germans. They came back and they opened the magazines. They knew the Russians are coming, so they opened the magazines, and everybody was running to get food. So my father was still healthy and strong, and they just were shooting. Sie schleimen Korn.
Okay, you were saying something about Shlomo Korn.
Shlomo Korn was together with my father in camp, and his brother too.
Shlomo's brother.
Shlomo and a brother, yes. The brother lives in Israel. And he was very sick. He could not move. When they opened the food stores, he could not go out to get food.
He was so weak.
So my father went to get food for him and for other people like that. And his brother also went out. His brother is wearing glasses, and his glasses broke, and he couldn't see, so he went back, luckily.
Wow.
That's how the way he was saved, because he went...
Because his glasses broke.
Because his glasses broke.
Right.
And Shlomo survived. He's all right. He called me last week. He found out I'm here.
Really? Where is he living now?
He lives in Borough Park.
Oh.
His brother lives in Israel. Look, something was shared.
Did you know them before the war?
Before the war?
Or you met them in the Lodge ghetto? Or only...
Shlomo? Yeah, we lived across the street from each other, in the ghetto.
In the Lodge ghetto?
Lodge ghetto, yeah. Yeah, his mother and father used to come in every day to us. Sure. I used to call his mother Tante.
Because your family
Tante Hindi. Yeah. Hindi is named after her. You don't know Hindi? Oh, no, you don't know. Your mother knows her. Hindi Korn. Yeah, they live in Borough Park.
Yeah.
And she comes from our town.
From Varta?
From Varta. My mother and her mother were friends. My grandmother and her grandmother was friends.
Wow. Goes back generations.
Yeah.
And you became friends with her?
And her mother, her mother survived, and she survived from the family. Her father was killed too, and her sister, and they had a little brother. Yeah. Yeah, that was it.
So when you were in Lodge, you had food because your father was trading?
Yeah.
Did other people in the ghetto have food?
Lots of people died from hunger in the ghetto. You saw walking skeletons. The bellies were swollen, and the legs and the faces were like skeletons. A lot of people. We only came in 42 to the ghetto. And then 44, we lived till 1944 August. They sent us out. It's now 60 years since they liquidated the ghetto. I got a letter before I left Israel. They're making a celebration now in Poland.
Really?
Yeah, if I'm interested to come. It's the liquidation of the Lodge. It's the 60th anniversary.
Right.
Yeah, 44. And then, all right, the rest will be some other time.
Okay.
That's enough for today.
Okay. So we're recording again. Last time when we were talking, we were up to the time when you were in your family, when you were with your parents in the Lodge ghetto. But one thing I actually wanted to ask you about that Mommy had mentioned a few days ago, I don't remember you mentioning, was about your sister Helen. Mommy said something about someone offering to take her in. and hide her.
Oh,
earlier
Polish
on.
family.
Yeah, when did that happen?
No, she wouldn't go. She was, she was very close with the family. She wouldn't. She was away one time in the summer. We went to an aunt in another town, and the second day she wanted to go home.
Your sister did?
Yeah. I wanted to stay longer, but she wanted to go home. So we went back home. This was before the war. That was not during the war. But I mean, she was younger than me. And, she didn't want to be separated from, parents and the siblings. And anyway, I don't know if we would give her away because you never knew. We didn't trust the goyim. If they meant it or they just wanted money or something.
How did it happen that somebody offered to take her? And when was this, when your family was in the Varta ghetto?
Yeah. She looked like a Gentile. She had blonde hair. And she didn't look much Jewish. So maybe she would have a chance, maybe. But we don't know, since it didn't happen, so.
The family that offered to take her in, was it a family that was friends with your family before?
Yeah. We did business with them. But then I think that they backed out also because they were afraid. The Germans started to be more strict. They were afraid because the Poles that wanted to hide somebody, they risked their own life also. Nobody wanted to do things like that. Very few that really did rescue some Jewish children.
Right. Would they have pretended that she was one of their own children?
I guess, yeah.
And so your mother decided that it was better for her not to go.
No. It was not an easy decision, I guess. I really don't. I'm not so very much familiar with it because we didn't talk much about it.
Do you know if other people were in the same situation? Did that happen with other people also?
Not in our town.
No.
Only one, what I told you, what escaped, but she did it on her own, and
Right.
they had a plan. Her parents had a plan, and but she just wandered off, and the rest of the family couldn't get out anymore. So.
It sounds like that was more an isolated incident as opposed to what was happening.
And it was not in the same city. It was maybe 10 miles away. So nobody would recognize her.
Right. And that was before the Lodge ghetto, before they
Before the ghetto, yeah. Well, yeah, when the selection was supposed to happen, they had a plan, her family, all of them, to escape, to move, to get out of the ghetto and meet in a certain place, out of the ghetto, outside of the ghetto. And, I don't know what their plan was to do later after they all would meet. Where would they all go, the whole family?
Right.
They would hide maybe somewhere in the beginning, and when it would be fire, then maybe they would find somebody that would take him in, but I don't know.
Were there partisan groups at the time? in the area? Or
Not by us. No. There was not such big, forest. Could hide.
Right.
Partisans were mostly in the forests. There were big forests, so they could hide. They made they digged out tunnels, and they were hiding in the tunnels. During the night, they went out to get some food and other things. But by us, it was mostly flat land. We had the rivers by us, so it was not easy to hide.
And you were telling me a little bit about the Lodge Ghetto, I guess the last time. So I was wondering, I think you were talking about how during different selections your family would go from one part of the ghetto to the other part, I guess a part that had already had a
Already
selection.
happened, yeah.
So this is, when were you brought to the Lodge Ghetto?
1942.
In 42.
Yeah, in August 42.
And how did you get from one ghetto to the? You were telling me that you were taken in trucks.
Taken into trucks, yes, from our town. They shipped us. They put it in trucks. And they took it to the ghetto. They took us to the ghetto. Yeah.
And you said you were in a camp area, sort of outside of the ghetto, before you went into the ghetto.
Yeah, they didn't right away put you in the ghetto place. They gathered all the people in one place, and then they selected again from there, somebody they didn't like, wasn't good for work. I guess they sent them, they didn't do work. They probably took him to a crematorium somewhere. And that's what happened. Every few weeks they had new selections. And they took more people out and out and out. Until it was not many left at the end.
Do you know?
And they liquidated the whole ghetto. They sent everybody out except a few hundred that were hiding. They didn't want to go.
Right. When was this that they liquidated the ghetto?
What?
When was it that they liquidated the ghetto?
At the end of August.
In 1944.
In 1944, yeah.
So it was August of 1942 until August of 1944
Yeah,
that you were
yeah.
in the ghetto. So when you went from the Varta ghetto to the Lodge ghetto, did you bring things with you? Did you bring clothing or?
We brought some, whatever we could have in our hands. We weren't ready, packed to go away. But whatever we could. If we had some valuables or something, everybody had it with them, hidden someplace in the clothing.
Did you have things that you were hiding?
Everybody had some some money, some valuables, some gold, yeah. Put them into the clothing, put it into the seams, some, places that we thought it was safe. It was safe until we came to Auschwitz and they took everything off and they left you naked. You walked in the one door and walked out another door. You didn't see your things anymore.
Did you still have valuable things when you were in Auschwitz?
We took from whatever we had in the ghetto. They sent us to a beautiful camp, to an Arbeitslager, and we're gonna work there, we're gonna have good, we're gonna have food, we're gonna have everything. It's gonna be like a pension.
Did people believe them?
So people brought a lot of things with them. Everybody schlepped big suitcases and whatever they had. We trusted them, they said. They talked so convincing. But it was not the way it happened.
And when you were inside the ghetto, it sounds like you came in during summer, so you were probably wearing warmer clothing from, when you moved into the Lodge ghetto.
At the end of August, it was already, the nights were already cool.
Mm-hmm.
The days were still warm.
Mm-hmm. What did you do for warmer clothing when you were once you were in the Lodge ghetto?
On the ghetto?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we brought from our home some stuff, and I don't know, somehow we managed. For money you couldn't buy much. There was not money. There was the ghetto had its own money.
Mm. The ghetto had its own money?
Yeah.
How did the ghetto begin to have its own money?
There's Rumkowski on the bills.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it was only good in the ghetto. You couldn't do anything with it outside the ghetto. But in the ghetto you had to pay. You got paid. You worked. So you got paid a few marks. I don't know how much. I don't remember.
Mm-hmm.
And for this money you had to buy the ration what you got. You had to pay for it, and a soup.
Mm-hmm.
And whatever they had. Sometimes they had some meat, like horse meat.
Mm-hmm.
You could stay in the lines for hours and hours until by the time you got there was nothing left already.
Mm-hmm. And this was only people who were working who got the Rumkowski marks?
Yeah.
So what about people who weren't working? Did they have any other way to get food?
I went around looking on the garbage to find something, which was not much to find because people didn't throw out anything. We used to find peels from potatoes. We used them to make like a kugel from the skin from the potatoes. If you could find it. This was good.
And how did they start using Rumkowski dollars? Was that his idea, as opposed to regular zlotys?
Well,
or whatever?
no, zlotys was not good there anymore because the Germans were there. It was marks, German marks.
Uh-huh. So you're saying in all of Poland, zlotys were not good, only German marks were, even outside the ghettos?
No, because the Polish government didn't exist already anymore. The Germans occupied the whole country. So we had to use the German marks. And together we had special money. It's like coupons, like the money what I got now in camp to buy something. I could only buy it in camp.
Right.
There's no value.
Right.
Same with the marks, with the ghetto money.
And was that from the beginning of the ghetto it was like that?
Yeah.
And it was with Rumkowski's face on it. He was the head of the Judenrat, right?
Yeah.
What did people think of the Judenrat?
Oh, nobody liked him. Because he, whatever the Germans wanted, he did. See, the Warsaw ghetto had somebody that he did not do everything that the Germans wanted. He didn't want to give out so many people to send to the camps. So he got killed too. But at the end, Rumkowski got killed too. He went to Auschwitz the same time we went to Auschwitz.
Yeah. And how many people were on the Judenrat?
Oh, he had a whole, I don't know. He had his own police there, his own informers, his own...
They were all Jews, the police and the informers?
Yeah. They were informers, they were telling who was rich and who has money. So then the Kripo was catching them and bringing them down to the German police station. And who didn't want to give them, they could kill them too. They were, hitting them and beating them up and till they collapsed.
And in the factories that you worked in, or that other people worked in, who supervised the workers?
Also Jewish. There was a Jewish foreman and a Jewish president. We didn't call him president, but he was like a manager.
And what would happen if somebody wasn't working?
Well, they would force him to work, I guess. If not, you couldn't live in the ghetto without working. If you couldn't work in this job, they send you to another job.
And inside the factory, let's say someone wasn't working quickly enough or efficiently enough, what was the response of the supervisors?
They try to rush people to make them they should do their production. I was young, but they taught me how to sew, how to make production.
But they didn't have, the supervisors didn't have weapons in the factories, did they?
No, they didn't have weapons.
And were there Nazi guards who were inside the ghetto also?
Well, they could come in, of course.
Was there always a presence there, or there weren't necessarily always Nazis inside the ghetto?
Well, they were around the ghetto, around the wire, the barbed wires. Outside, they were the Nazis, the SS.
Were they in like guard posts, or they were just standing outside of the barbed wire?
Oh, they were guard posts. I think. Don't remember. We lived right by the barbed wire. Our apartment was on the corner. And the window was open, we could look out. I mean, we didn't open the window, but we had the shutters outside. We opened the shutters, you could see. They were watching. Inside was a Jewish policeman, outside was a German.
And the barbed wire outside of your house, on the other side of the barbed wire, were there other like Polish apartment buildings there?
Belongs to Poland, yeah. Polish people could go there.
And did you ever talk to the people outside? Did they ever look in and see what was happening?
We couldn't talk to them. They wouldn't come near, and we wouldn't talk. We were not allowed to go there.
And when you were working in the ghetto, when did you begin work and when did you end work?
All the time. We left early in the morning and we came back in the evening. Probably more than 8 hours a day. We worked every day.
Even Saturdays?
Even Saturdays, yes. Sundays. I remember even on Yom Kippur we had to go.
Did people know that it was Yom Kippur?
Well, we knew, yeah. And the camp, we didn't know the dates because there were no Jews around. But in the ghetto, there were still Jewish people, but they knew the dates and the times of the holidays. We couldn't keep them, but we knew about it.
Did people mention when it was the holiday? How did people, respond to the fact that it was Yom Kippur or Hanukkah or Rosh Hashanah? Did people talk about it?
Yeah, sure. Pesach. 1 second, to make a little lower.
Continuing. So you were just telling me about the holidays inside the ghetto. You were saying that sometimes that people did know when the holidays were in the ghetto, but it wasn't really.
Well, the important holiday we figured out, like Yom Kippur and Rosh Hashanah.
And
you saw maybe I showed you an article in a Jewish newspaper about Saba,
yes,
1941,
yes, when did
when
that?
they closed the ghetto.
Mhm.
They had the German Gauleiter Bibov. He knew that there was a Chazan.
That Saba was a Chazan?
Saba, yeah.
How did he know that?
Well, Saba was a famous person. It wasn't a big synagogue. He was a big Chazan there. And they knew, the Germans knew everything. And when it came Yom Kippur, he wanted he should daven. They put out, placards. Is the name that this and this Chazan is going to daven Yom Kippur Kol Nidre. There's a big choir, and people should come to listen. And Bibov and his henchmen came also to watch, to listen. You didn't see that article?
I did see it.
I read
And
it
was
for
in
you
Yad
in
Vashem.
Yiddish.
Wasn't it in Yad Vashem also?
Yeah. Yeah, but I have it. I have the newspaper. And Bibov was sitting there listening. And one song he liked so much that Saba had to do it over. Yalas, the Yalas, at Kol Nidre. And he said in German, die junge Schnauzen, die haben solche gute voices, how you call it, Stimme.
That means the Jews have such good voices?
Yeah, the boys, he had a big choir of young boys. And before Yom Kippur, they gave special rations for the young kids. So they should be able to perform. They gave them food to eat. And right after the prayers and everything, they took the little boys and they sent them out.
Were there a lot of people who came to see?
A lot of people came to listen, yes. Yeah. And they wanted Saba to send out also that time. And then when he found out, he went into hiding.
When did they take the boys? They took them directly from the performance?
Yeah, soon after the performance, they took him away.
So Saba went into hiding in the Lodz ghetto.
Yeah, there were a lot of people that knew him, and they wanted to help him. Because Saba was alone. And, he was married before the war. He has a wife and a child. But he sent them away to her parents. He thought this way they'll be saved. Because the man knew they maybe will not survive, but for the women, they thought they will have it easy. But she never came back, and they both didn't survive.
Where was she headed to?
She went to her parents. They lived in somewhere in Litauen.
In where?
In Litauen, I think, near Vilna, someplace.
In Lida?
No, not Lida.
Lithuania?
Lithuania. Well, Vilna was considered Litauen.
But she never made it there.
Never saw her since they left.
And he stayed in the ghetto in hiding?
He stayed in the ghetto.
And he was hiding the whole time that he was?
No, not all the time. He was working too. Yeah, he was working some different kinds of jobs. Sometimes here, sometimes there.
But during the ghetto, Safta and Saba had never met, right? It was only after the war.
Yeah.
So when you were in the ghetto and you were working, I know you said you were working in like a tailor, seamstress job, and Safta was also, right?
Sattler and Leder and Sattler resort. was the name of the shop.
Really?
Later.
Did it exist before the war also, or they made it once the ghetto started?
There was maybe I don't know what they were doing there. There must have been a factory there of something, but not for the army. Not during the war. We were working for the army, for the German army. Yeah.
And
like uniforms and those like those blankets, but they had those designs like, you know, like the army has. This material, yeah, they were making.
And so you and Safta were both working there?
Yeah, in the beginning Safta was working with me, but then she got another job. She didn't do such a good job, so they didn't like it.
You were better?
The foreman was saying, yeah, your daughter is a good worker, but you...
So where did Safta start to work?
So she got a job what she could do at home. Selecting some kinds of things, like they had a lot of things they took away from people, clothing, the people they sent out. So there were other people, they were selecting the clothing and washing it and cleaning so they could give out.
And then they were redistributing it?
Redistributing, yes.
And so you and Safta were originally working as seamstresses, and then Safta took on that other job. What was your father doing? Where was he working?
My father was working in a laundry.
In the laundry, in like a laundromat?
Yeah.
Where did they do laundry? Was there water in the ghetto?
In the ghetto.
Where?
It was like well, you wouldn't know the neighborhood anyway. It was not very far. It was always in walking, you know. We didn't have cars or bicycles, or the only transportation was by foot.
So it was in walking distance?
Yeah.
But what type of, was it, you know, like basins of water?
Well, yeah, I guess there was. I was never there. I don't know. It was a laundry. Later, he worked someplace else. He worked at Marishin. Marishin was a place, but it was like a shuk before the war.
Like an open marketplace.
Yeah. And in the ghetto also, this was the Marishin, where they brought the products in. Like a shop, like Machna Yehuda.
Right.
So over there, my father had a little easier because he could meet Polacks. They was by the wires. And there, the Polacks came into work, not into the ghetto, but out. They were on the outside, and the Jewish workers were inside. And this way my father could make some business with them.
Right.
He was bringing like clothing or some jewelry, a watch, a little ring. Somebody gave him to get some food for them. And he used to do that.
So the market, what type of things did they sell in the marketplace?
What was the
Was it a food market?
potatoes? They were not selling. This was things to give for the rations for the people. You know.
So was he
For
able
the
to
ghetto.
also take extra food when he was working there?
He got what they were giving to everybody. But he managed to bring home sometimes a few potatoes, a piece of bread, a little butter. And sometimes people came in to us and they brought in some valuables. And my father took it and exchanged it for them for some bread, a little butter, a little meat sometimes. Yeah.
So it sounds like you were able to keep yourselves a little bit more nourished than a lot of people.
Right. I was not very undernourished because somehow we managed. We managed a little bit. We were not very full all the time.
Right.
but we were not starving.
Did you get your period before the war?
Yeah, but then it stopped.
It stopped even
Even the ghetto, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Only after the war it came back.
Right. Were there any women in the ghetto who were pregnant or who had babies?
In the ghetto, yeah, I think Goldkorn's sister-in-law, she had a baby
Inside the ghetto?
in the ghetto. They sent us away. His mother took the baby and they went to, and his sister-in-law survived.
Really?
But she had other children before, and those children they took away, the Sperre, and it was the selections. Yeah. But in our camp, there was one woman, she came from the ghetto.
This was in your camp after
In the camp.
ghetto? In Auschwitz or after?
I mean, from Auschwitz we were sent to a Arbeitslager.
Right.
So this woman was also from the ghetto.
From the large ghetto?
Yeah. And she came, there were 3 sisters. And this one was pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
And one of her sisters had a job in the kitchen there.
Mm-hmm.
So she was a big shot, you know.
Mm-hmm.
In the kitchen, who was in the kitchen had food.
Mm-hmm.
So she could give her sisters food, and she was very friendly with the German SS there.
Mm-hmm.
And they told, I mean, she was showing she was pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
She thought that the Germans know her so well, they would not do anything to her.
Who was showing the Germans? The sister who wasn't pregnant, who was working in the kitchen, or
Yeah.
the pregnant sister?
No, the one that was not pregnant was working in the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
So she was friendly with the German. And in fact, the German, the SS man used her as a mistress.
Which one? The one who's pregnant? or-
No, the one that was not pregnant, the younger one. She was working in the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they said that she was pregnant after the war. She had a baby.
And it was hers.
I never saw her after the war, so I don't know. But that's what I heard.
Mm. And the woman who was pregnant?
And the woman that was pregnant, her sister, she was maybe already in the 7th month. They took her away. They told them that she's going to be sent to a sanatorium, they're going to have the baby, and she's going to be taken care of, she's going to have everything she needs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they never saw her back again.
Mm-hmm. And do they know, was she married before?
She was married, yeah.
And her husband was still alive in the ghetto?
Ghetto, yes.
So presumably it was her husband's child.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
But the other one, you know, the younger one that was working in the kitchen,
Mm-hmm.
this one, she was the assessment used her as a mistress.
Mm-hmm. Did that happen to a lot of women?
No, they were not allowed to do that either, you know. They were not allowed to have anything to do with the Jewish women.
Mm-hmm. And in the ghetto also? Was it like that, or?
In the
Was there-
ghetto, I don't know. I don't know. Then we had another woman, she came to this camp from Theresienstadt
Mm-hmm.
in Czech, and she was pregnant.
Wow. She got pregnant in Theresienstadt?
Yeah, she was married, but she did not tell nobody, she did not show.
Mm-hmm.
And she got the baby after the war,
Wow.
when we were liberated.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Wow. And the baby survived?
The baby survived, yeah.
Wow. And who was she pregnant from? Was it from
From
her
a husband, yeah. In Theresienstadt, there was no so bad. You know, they came like very shortly before the end of the war to us.
Uh-huh.
And they had not so bad. They had food. And I don't know, they were mixed a lot. This, you know, they had a lot of them intermarried. with the Czech people. But she didn't, she was faking, she was hiding her stomach, she was wearing things that shouldn't show. We knew she was pregnant, but we didn't. The Germans didn't know about it. Otherwise they would send her away too.
Right. And you were saying, we were talking yesterday about the German Jews who were brought into the ghetto.
Yeah.
Can you tell me a little bit about the different groups of German Jews who were brought into the Lodz ghetto?
No, they were different group, but they were educated, they were rich, and some were assimilated. They didn't even know they were Jews until the Germans came. We even had our camp, a woman. They brought her much later, a German woman that she was hiding, and then they found her. They found out that she is Jewish, her husband was a German. And she had a son that was in the German army. But she came already very shortly before the end of the war. And one day they brought the son to see the mother. But the SS was standing in the middle. She could not go near him, or he could not go touch her, They were just standing, looking at each other and talking for a while. But the Germans were there to look, to see, to watch them.
This was when she was in the camp with you?
Yeah.
Did she survive?
I guess so. I guess, yeah. Because it was shortly before the end. Maybe a few months, 2 months or so. But look, they found out she was Jewish. I don't know if she was the first generation Jewish, maybe she was the third or fourth generation.
Right.
So the son was good to go to the army, but she had to go to a concentration camp.
Yeah. Were there a lot of Jews who were like that?
In Germany, there were the German Jews were very assimilated. They intermarried a lot. Yeah.
Was it like that in Poland also?
Not so much like in Germany, no. Very seldom. Oh, at the later, in my time, there was one woman in our town which she converted to Christianity. And they made a whole spiel.
This was before the war?
Yeah. And they took her around the whole town on a horse and buggy, a nice carriage, yes. And they passed by her parents' house to show, and her parents were sitting shiva after her. And she got in love with a nobody. He was a nobody, a Polak, a dumbhead and nothing. But she survived the war.
Was she taken into the ghetto?
No. She went away someplace, she went away from our town during the war somewhere else. She survived, and she came back after the war to Varta. And then she was crying for her parents. Her parents didn't survive. And she wanted to help, and he became the mayor of the town by us.
Really?
He was a super before the war. Then they made him for a mayor. And she had a few kids.
And did she consider herself Jewish after the war, or still Christian?
Nobody wanted to bother with her. But she offered the help. If somebody needs some help, she could help. Yeah. But nobody from her family survived.
And she stayed in Poland after the war.
Who?
She stayed in Varta after the war?
She came back, yeah, after the war to Varta. Yeah. During the war, she was someplace else. I don't know where.
Was she treated as Jew, like taken into a ghetto, into the camps, or people didn't know she was Jewish?
She was not. No, she ran away. I told you she didn't stay in Varta during the war. They went someplace else. Because I guess she was afraid. Yeah, but she was sorry. She could have helped her parents, she said. Why they broke off with her. They didn't want to have anything to do with her.
And when you were in the Lodge ghetto, I guess towards the end, right around August of 1944, before the final liquidation, what did people think was going to happen at that point? I'm assuming that the number of Jews in the ghetto was smaller at that time.
Sure.
So what were people thinking was going to happen, and did people know that there were death camps
Yeah,
set up?
sure. At that time we knew already about Auschwitz. We knew about guest. Yeah, we knew. Nobody wanted to go. So you couldn't stay in the ghetto. They would kill you anyway. So people had no choice. You had to go. They took everybody. And we were the last transport to go.
So what did they say? How did they take everyone?
They said that they are sending us to Arbeitslagers. They're sending us to Germany, and there we're gonna work, and we're gonna have good. We're gonna be together. Families, they were there. They said, we're gonna be together. Everybody will be taken care of. Everybody. And they brought us to Auschwitz.
How did they take you?
How? On these trains, the cattle trains.
Where were the train tracks? Were they close to the Lodge ghetto?
Yeah, in Lodge, yeah.
They were inside the ghetto or outside of the ghetto?
And they were outside. They brought us to a big place. And from there they loaded us to the cattle trains. And they pushed in so many people, and old and young, and men and women, everybody.
So they didn't do any selection before they transported people?
No. And they took everybody. And then when we came to Auschwitz, then they started selecting.
So you were together with your mother and your father and the...
We were together, but in Auschwitz they separated the men from the women. My father went in one side, and me and my mother on one side.
How many people were in each of the cattle cars?
A lot of people. I don't know how many, but it was like sardines. A lot of people.
Standing or
standing and sitting and crying, and young ones and old ones, and everybody. And we were going for days and days. We didn't know where we were going.
How long did it take to get there?
It took a few days.
Did they stop at all, or the train just kept going the whole time?
The train, they stopped once in a while for people were crying and asking for water, we were thirsty, we were hungry. There was no sanitary places for where to do. Everybody made it was terrible. It was terrible. Worse than animals. They pushed everybody in.
Did they give you any food or water?
Once in a while they gave a little water and a piece of bread maybe.
How did they give out the water? They gave people cups of water? Or
Cups? I don't remember. They didn't have no cups. Everybody had their own something to put a little water in. They brought in like one thing with water and everybody had to share. And everybody was pushing, everybody wanted to get there.
Did people fight over the food?
Yeah, they were fighting about everything. People couldn't stay anymore. They got tired and sick and schwach. It's terrible.
Did anyone try to escape from the trains?
Some people tried, but I don't remember from our, if anybody did that in our compartment. But from other places I heard people try to escape, so they were shot right away. Or if they're lucky, one in 1,000 could maybe make it. But people wouldn't take the chance because you had watchmen all over, you know.
Right.
The wagons were locked. There was no opening anywhere.
Was there a window at all?
And there was a little, but it was closed.
With what?
I mean, it was closed. You couldn't get out of there. Nobody, who could, we didn't have any weapons or anything to hit somebody. If, let's say, a salesman came in with some water or something, you could hit him over the head. We couldn't do that.
Right.
Nobody had anything to do it with.
Right. People were probably also weak at that
People
point.
were weak and tired and afraid. Because you knew they were stronger. So.
Were there a lot of children in that transport? Or older people?
Older people and children, yes. From the ghetto, there were still children there, so they took everybody. And then they selected. When we came into Auschwitz, they selected.
When you pulled up, I remember when I went to Auschwitz, there's the train tracks that go inside the camp. And then I remember there was like a little house area there that they said was Dr. Mengele's
Dr. Mengele.
house. Is that what you saw when you came in?
Yeah, this Dr. Mengele, he did the selections.
So when you got there, how did they let everyone off the train? Did they take everyone all at the same time? They opened all the doors?
Raussteigen, 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 raussteigen.
What does that mean?
Then they sent us to the beds. They took off all the clothing. And they separated the men and the women. And well, you went in one door and you went out to the other door.
This
You didn't
was,
go back?
so right when you got there, they took everyone off of the trains and they separated first men and women, or they
Yeah.
separated...
Men and women and old women and little kids.
Also at during the same selection?
Yeah. And then they selected who goes here, who goes there, who goes here.
Did people know what the different selections meant?
More or less, you knew, yeah. So the old people go, who had little children, they gave it to the older people because they knew if they go with a baby, they're gonna be killed. So like by Shlomo Korn, his brother had a little baby, so they gave it to his mother. She was an older lady already. If the mother with the baby would go with the baby, they would take her with the baby. They could take the old lady also anyway. This way she was saved.
And where did they bring those people right away after they separated them?
These people you didn't see anymore. They took them They took him to the chimneys. And then Dr. Mendele started making the selections. Remember, me and my mother were standing in line, all naked.
This was during the selections, while the men and women were still together?
No.
This was
The
after?
men were separated, and the women were separate, selected.
And you were still in that area right where the train tracks were, or you were someplace else?
It was, also Helen, Daniela, I don't remember all the details. Just remember we were separated, and then we were told to go in over there to the washroom, to the shower, to take showers. And me, my mother, and we still saw my father that time. But when we came out, we didn't see him already.
This was after the shower?
Yeah.
You didn't see him anymore?
I didn't see him.
What were the showers?
Some of the showers were just to wash up. And then there was other showers what they had to guess. We were sent to these showers. And we had to undress before. And on the other side we went out, we were naked, we didn't have any clothes. We didn't go back to get our clothes.
So what did you wear?
And they gave us some schmatters there. If somebody was big, they gave a small one. If somebody was small, they gave him big ones. And no shoes. They gave us those wooden Dutch shoes.
They gave everyone those shoes?
Not everyone. I only had one, I think.
It was still summer then?
Yeah, during the day was warm, but at night was cold. We had to stay sometimes day and night on the appels outside, naked.
While you were working or just standing?
Just in Auschwitz I wasn't working, no. They kept us there. They put us in the barracks. And we were laying on the floor like sardines. And every day was new selections. One day they took us and put us they said they're going to send us out to work. And they took us out from the barrack. And we were laying there a whole night and the whole day. And nothing happened, so we thought we are finished. We were not far from the chimneys. We thought, this is it, that's the end. They're going to take us there. And then one day they came, they called us and they said they're going to send us to an Arbeitslager. And they shaved our hair off. Up till then, our hair, we still had the hair, me and my mother.
Was your hair long?
Oh, it was pretty long. Then they shaved us off. But they didn't give us the numbers anymore on the hand. People that came before us got numbers on the hand, you saw. You saw Mrs. Glantz, remember her? She has a number. She was 2 years in Auschwitz. So she had a number, but when we came they didn't do that anymore. They gave us a number. Here I had a number 5733. My mother had 5734. We were not called by the name, only by the numbers.
Do you know why they stopped giving people
This tattoo? I don't know why. They didn't have so much time anymore those days. When we came, it was shortly already. It was not a whole year till the war finished. We were about 10 months in the camp.
in Auschwitz?
Hi there, somebody should be home to answer the phone.
Okay. So you were saying that they stopped giving people numbers?
Putting the numbers on the hand, yes. But they gave us numbers to wear on the outside.
Right. And you said you were in Auschwitz for 10 months?
10 days.
Or for 10 days? For 10 days. And were you were in the barracks for how long? Was that for like the first 9 days?
Yeah.
And then the last night you were taken just outside into a field?
Outside on a field, it was not far from the chimneys, yes.
How many people were taken with you?
Oh, there were a few hundred people. Not all of them were sent in the same place. We were like 200 women. We were sent to this camp in Germany, Merzdorf, a little town called Merzdorf.
Merzdorf?
Yeah. And this was, I don't remember, Oberbayern or Niederbayern. You know, there's a Oberbayern and Niederbayern. It was in Bayern somewhere.
How were you taken there?
By train, also cattle train.
And was it the same type of conditions that it had been?
It was only women. Yeah, they were only women.
Did you
And in other place maybe they were men, you know, because there were men's camps not far away. We didn't know about it, but after the war we found out there were camps for men also.
How long did it take you to get to this camp in Germany?
Also a few days. We passed by so many towns. We passed by Sosnowitz that time.
Were you familiar with Sosnowitz?
No, but we saw the names. We were going through Poland. Auschwitz was not far from Sosnowitz. Yeah. And then we were going through Germany. And this was near Breslau. Today Breslau belongs to Poland. It's Wrocław today, in Polish.
And
It was high in the mountains.
So you were going through mountains?
Yeah, Riesengebirge. It was not far from the Czech border either. And we were 200, I think, Polish Jews there.
Who were taken?
Later on they brought Hungarians. They brought 100 Hungarian girls.
To join you where you were working?
Yeah, but they had another room downstairs. See, we were placed in a factory building. We worked in that building. There was a Spulerei, a Spinnerei, Lachs. We were making material.
Going to this camp in Germany, Matzdorf?
Merzdorf.
Merzdorf.
Yeah.
So what type of a camp was it? Was it also like
Was an
surrounded by barbed wire?
No. It was a big building, a factory building. This building was there before we came, you know. It was a German company had there. They were making from scratch material. First they had to cut the wheat. It was flax, it was called. And then they loaded this from the field on trucks and brought it to us. And then they had to unload it. And your Savta was working on these trucks to unload it.
Wow. Was she strong at that?
Well, she was big, and they said, yeah, she's sharp. They thought she's strong and she can do this job. It's a hard job. Her hands were bleeding all the time.
And where were you working?
And I was working at a big machine. There were two people, one on one side, one on the other side. We were doing yarn from the raw flax. We were making it on spools or on yarn. The Spielerei. It was spinning and making spools. And from those spools, the spools went into another department, the Weberei, which they made material out of this. from was steps. We started with the raw material, and then we made yarn, and then we got material made from it. And then it went, I guess, to be made into clothes and other things.
So you stayed in this building all the time? It was
Well,
where you
we
worked
went
and
out.
where you
We
slept?
went out every morning for appels. They had to count us every morning and every evening. If we didn't escape or somebody's missing.
Did anyone escape while you were there?
Yeah, we had 2 girls, but it was already at the end almost. And they figured they can do it. 2 young girls, and they went over the mountains, and we were in high mountains. And in the big mountains it's not so easy to escape, because they wandered around and around and they came back to the same place. They got lost.
Really? So they came back to the factory?
Yeah, but not before the Germans saw they are missing. They send out, police, the SS and his dogs to look for them.
And did they end up getting caught?
And they caught them, yeah. Thank God it was already right before the end. So they let them live, they let them go. 2 nice girls, pretty girls, young ones.
And they survived?
They survived, yeah. But we would be punished if they wouldn't catch them, because we were responsible for them. If one was missing, they would punish the whole 400 people.
That's how many people there were in that camp? It was 400 women?
We were 200 from the ghetto, and then 100 the Czechish, and then they brought 100 Hungarians. The Hungarians were separate on another floor.
So the 200 that you're talking about that you were with were from Auschwitz. The 100 Czech were from Theresienstadt, and then the 100 Hungarian, where were they coming from?
From Hungary.
From Hungary, from a ghetto, or?
In Hungary, maybe they were also in Theresienstadt, but they were Hungarians. They were young kids, a lot of young people, even younger than us. But they were thieves. They were stealing the portions from them. You have to hide your bread under the head, under the straw in the mattress.
So the Hungarians
They were terrible.
were Hungarian Jews?
Yeah, they were like gypsies. They didn't like us. We didn't like them. We didn't get along.
Did you get along with the Czech?
Yeah, the Czech were okay.
But not with the Hungarian Jews?
No.
What language did everyone speak in?
Well, they were speaking German. I mean, we tried to speak German, but the Hungarians, some of them could speak Yiddish, not much. They speak, I'm to the matter, blah, 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 kici, kinere, kici, polivka, kici, kuci. The Hungarians, whenever 2 Hungarians come together, they only talk Hungarian. Even today.
Were they more assimilated into Hungarian culture than Polish Jews were into Polish culture?
They could, not many could talk Yiddish. No. They spoke more Hungarian. Kici is little. They always complain. They have little bread and little potatoes.
Were they you said that the Jews from Theresienstadt, the Czech Jews, were in pretty good shape, relatively speaking.
Relatively better than the Polish.
And what about the Hungarian Jews?
Hungarian, all right. The worse off for the Polish, because it started in Poland. Since '39, the Jews were already in trouble, and they suffered. In Hungary or in Czechia, was not so I mean, it was not good, but they didn't suffer so much for so long. And Theresienstadt was supposed to be a model camp. Yeah,
I remember they set it up and they would bring in like UN.
Right, to show how good they were treated, and they even had an orchestra, they even had arts and things there. Yeah, but they died many people there. Beginning they had better. Later on they started sending from other camps to the Theresienstadt.
And that's when it got worse.
Yeah.
And
we had to stay every morning. Before we went to work, we had to stay on an appel outside the courtyard. They counted us. And after we came back from work, they had to count us again.
How did they count? Did you have numbers that were your numbers always? Did they refer to you by numbers?
They counted. No, they just counted.
They just counted
You
the
know, there were plenty women assessing with us there. Platz machen, and Mund halten. When an SS woman was walking by, you had to go away. Platz machen. There was she was a real Hitler. Whenever she was walking, Platz machen, Mund halten.
What does that mean?
Keep quiet. Hold your mouth, keep your mouth shut. And Platz machen. Get away. If she comes, everybody has to go away.
Was it only women SS officers, or it was men?
We had men also. Not many, mostly women. Because the men was mostly on the fronts, fighting.
So did the women had guns?
Yeah, sure.
And did they supervise the work in the factory?
No, not really. We had a good, what I hear from other places, we still were lucky. We had a foreman there, a German, an older man. And sometimes he brought some food for some of the girls.
He was the one who did he own the factory before the war?
Before, I guess he was working there already before. He was not the owner, I think, but he was like a foreman, like a manager. Yeah. Well, he was not a very young man already. And there were men coming to work there too, not Jewish men. They were prisoners of war, yes. There were Belgium and Polish, some also. And some girls got friendly with them, and they used to bring them some food.
They used to bring the men, or the men used to bring for them?
The men used to bring for the girls.
Why did they have more food?
They had more food. They could go out.
They were allowed to leave.
To go out of their room. They were not like us, so strictly you had to be in, and you couldn't get out.
Were they sleeping also in rooms in the factory?
No, they were in a separate building. Yeah.
Did they work in a separate building also?
Yeah. But some girls, they managed to get around, to flirt with them. And they brought them sometimes a little something, some food, some bread, some potatoes. And after the war, I said to one girl, you ready? Okay, bye. After the war, I think one girl went with one Belgian boy to Belgium.
Really?
He was not a Jewish guy.
Was she from Poland? Was she religious before the war?
I didn't know before the war that people were. We were three girls, but we were together all the time, you know. You don't know, the Lubliners, you know the Lubliners?
Mm-mm.
There were three sisters, Helen and Bronia and Frania. With Helen and Frania I worked together. We were very close.
Mm-hmm.
And
Did they
after
also
the
come?
war we were, we still are, I mean, I'm still in touch with them. But in the summer they are not in New York, they have bungalows, and in the winter, when I was here, I saw her 2 years ago in Florida. When I was,
Did they also move to America right after the war?
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
we got married about the same time, and we had children the same time. We used to go in the summer together to the bungalows.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
With both sisters?
yeah, three sisters.
Wow.
Well, the youngest didn't go. She still had younger children. But Helen, I was very close with Helen, because came to get the same time to America,
Mm-hmm.
and we suffered the same way. You know, we struggled. She
Mhm.
came also with a baby
Mm-hmm. Oh, she came from Germany with a baby.
from Germany. Yeah,
Ah,
Sandy. Sandy lives here in Jersey somewhere.
really? So
She was
got,
Sonia's bridesmaid at
Oh,
the
yeah?
first wedding. Yeah.
Really? So she got married also in the DP camp.
Yeah, after the war.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And were they from Auschwitz together with you?
They were from
They were
Auschwitz.
part of
Yeah,
that?
I met them in Auschwitz.
Oh, so you knew them even in Auschwitz, you were friendly.
Yeah, yeah, we worked together.
Mm-hmm.
They were nice girls, you know, from fine families.
Mm-hmm.
You know, your Savta wouldn't let me get close to people that are not my kind.
Uh-huh.
You know, they were not all girls were so nice and fine.
Uh-huh.
So, but we three of us, we were close all the years in America.
Mm-hmm.
Franja passed away already. She
Was
was
she
the
older than
oldest. Yeah,
Were they both your age or older than you?
a little older. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and the youngest is older than me.
Mm-hmm.
They're from Lodz.
Where was
they
the
were born
youngest
from-
during the war? Was she in Auschwitz also with them?
Yeah,
So she was with them the whole time?
yeah.
But you worked specifically with...
All the three
Okay.
were together.
Uh-huh.
But we always got together, you know. Even her family, they lived in Bell Harbor.
Oh, really?
Her husband's sister lived in Bell Harbor, Mrs. Goodman.
Mm-hmm.
And then and another sister lived in Bell Harbor. Yeah. And Sonia was friendly with her daughter. You know, we went to, when the kids were small and your mother was a baby, we went together to the Catskill Mountains in a bungalow colony. Yeah, we were very close. We came to each other's houses very often. They still live in Queens, and where they live near Kew Garden Hills somewhere.
Oh, of course.
And,
Wait.
what's the name of their neighbor? Harris?
Forest Hills?
No, it's not far from Forest.
Holliswood? No.
No, something with that age. I forget names so much. It's
Yeah,
terrible.
me too. It's okay.
Terrible, terrible.
When you were in when you were in the factory building, where did everyone sleep? Was it separate rooms?
We had barracks. I mean, the beds were like camping, you know, what do you call it? One on top of the other. We were three shifts, three.
Hello, this is Sonia.
Sorry.
Just wanted to say hi.
Sorry. So you were describing the beds, the three
Yeah, how you call these beds? Bunk beds.
bunk
no?
beds. Yeah.
Yeah,
So they were the
three.
same. And was it in the same building?
Yeah.
So how was it set? Was it on a separate floor?
It was one big room
Uh-huh.
for us, for the 200.
And what about the other 200? The Czech.
I told you,
and-
the Czech was with us.
Oh, so it was 300.
Yeah, and the 100 Hungarians, they were downstairs on the lower floor.
You said that they brought the Hungarian and the Czech Jews later.
Later
So
than
how
us.
was there room for the Czech women to sleep?
Oh, I guess there was room, so they put them up there.
Did you have blankets and pillows?
Pillows, we had straw mattresses.
Mm-hmm.
We had to get the straw and stick him into the straw sacks.
Mm-hmm.
We had a straw pillow.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, schmatter probably to cover up.
And what clothing were you wearing? Did you get clothing when you got there?
What we got in, when we left Auschwitz, they gave us clothing.
Oh, they gave you different clothing.
They gave us clothing that we should have when we go to work.
Mm-hmm.
They gave my mother a coat with a piece of fur collar.
Mm-hmm.
Yourself as a good business lady. And she traded this piece of fur in camp when we were already now in Merzdorf. She gave it to a German woman there. So she
The
got
worker, one of like the SS German women.
Yeah, they were living there in the camp.
They also live in the same building or in a different building?
It's not together with us, another part, but the same building. Yeah.
A German Jewish woman?
No,
or-
no, not
oh,
Jewish. A
One
German.
of the women who was like supervising. you.
Yeah. So on a Sunday, my mother went around, and they were cooking. So she gave she gave this collar. So she gave her a little soup for me, a little something, a little meat maybe. Well, if not for my mother, I wouldn't survive. I couldn't do that.
Did you get food in this camp in Merzdorf? Did you get food every day?
You got a portion of bread, yeah, and a little soup. A little soup with some vegetables. The soup was not a thick soup. Soup. And a piece of bread. The beginning was not bad. We got nice portions, but later on it was less and less because they didn't deliver so much anymore. It was towards the end of the war. We used to get some piece of bread with some salami sometimes. But at the end we didn't because they didn't have.
And did you work every day of the week there also?
Yeah.
And how did they treat people there? I guess as compared to when you were working in the ghetto.
About the same. Have to make production. I had to work. We had also a doctor, a Jewish doctor there, a woman. She was a doctor.
Who was also working there?
Yeah. And there was like if somebody wasn't feeling good.
Was there anything that she was able to do if they weren't feeling well?
Well, you really couldn't. People were afraid to complain. Nobody wanted to complain because you didn't know what's going to happen next. If you complain, they may send you away. They say you're not good for work anymore. But at the end, it was a little easier already. We had a German doctor.
The German doctor who came into the factory.
Yeah.
And were a lot of people sick?
There were some sick people, yeah.
And what did they do for them?
And it was early on because before the end of the war, when they didn't feel the war is already almost over, they took him out and sent him away. They never came back. But at the end, when they knew it's already almost the end, they wanted to show the Russians that they were treating us good. So they tried to help a little bit. Like when the war finished, this doctor was still there. And he told us to tell the Russians that he treated us very good, that he saved us. If not for him. Before the end, when already the Russians were coming in, they wanted to blow up the factory with us together.
Wow.
They knew the Russians are coming. So, but then the whole village was against it.
Really?
Yeah. They
How did
said
you
this
know?
way, if they will tell the Russians they saved us, they will be treated good by the Russians. So the last minute, they stopped.
Did people inside the camp know what was going to happen? Did you guys know what was being discussed and that they wanted to blow
Well,
up?
at the end, we knew already something was going on. Because the SS ran away, we didn't see nobody. And so we were walking out. We just walked out. And after we walked out, we went into German houses. And we asked for some food, for some clothing. We had nothing. And they gave us. I got the bread, and on the way back to the camp, somebody stole the bread from me.
One of the other men from the camp? Why?
And then we was running over a bridge, because they said they're gonna bomb the bridge. And I was running, my mother had a friend, but she became, friendly with also a lady like my mother's age. And she couldn't run so fast, and I was upset. I said, "Ma, let's go, we're gonna get killed." And my mother says, "Well, you have to wait, she can't run so fast, and we go together." So we went together. Mrs. Bahagen, I still remember the name.
Did she survive?
She survived, but after the war, I don't know where she was. She was from Lodz originally. And we made it, and we went into a German house, and the Germans took us in, and they cooked for us, but very light, a lot of people died after the war, because they started eating a lot, and their stomachs were not used to it. So they died. But my mother was watching. We only ate very delicate things at the beginning, the first few days. Just a little farina, a little cereal, a little bit of bread. In a few days like that, then it was okay. Then the Russians came in.
So it was just the two of you at the German house?
The three of us. She
You
also
and
went.
the woman that she was with.
Yeah.
And how long did you stay at the German house? Did you sleep there at night too?
Yeah, the first 2 nights I think we slept there, and then we went back to the camp. The Germans were not there anymore, and the Russians came in. And this woman where we stayed with, the German woman, they were so afraid for the Russians. They heard that the Russians are raping the girls, and they're like wild animals. So they were so afraid, they were hiding. They had a daughter, she was hiding the daughter. And a lot of the Russians were very rough with the girls. They tried to rape one girl.
With the German girls or the women from
No,
camp?
from camp. And she didn't let, and they killed her.
Really? One of the girls from the camp with you?
The camp, yeah.
Wow.
She was fighting back. But a lot of them were Jewish soldiers. They're higher officers. And they spoke Yiddish. Oh, and they were so good to us. Oy, 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 they cried for us. We were telling them what we were going through. So they want to help us. Was
That,
what is he running a camp here?
so you were saying that the Russian soldiers, the ones who were Jewish, were very good to.
Very good to us, yeah.
Did they bring?
And we wanted to go back to Poland, you know. But they didn't let us. They said, you can't go back now because you're not strong enough, and we have to fix you up first. And they had a kitchen, they had made a kitchen, and they
Inside
cooked.
that building?
No, they had a separate. They got some big hall there, big building from the Germans. And
Near where you had been?
Huh?
Was it near Mertsdorf?
In the village, yes. And they opened up all German stores and told us to go in and take whatever we need.
Wow.
It was hefty. The German had nothing to say that. And some girls, they grabbed so many things, shoes and pocketbooks and clothing. Me, I just had one dress, one pair of shoes, and one pocketbook. And there was some money in the pocketbook, German money. And my mother said, this money is not good anymore. She threw it away. And later on, this money was good.
Was good.
The German money
Right.
got good later.
Right.
And what else? And we stayed there another, 2 weeks.
When what this was in 1945?
Yeah.
So how long were you in Mertsdorf in the camp for? Until
In the
liberation?
camp, 10 months. Yeah, until liberation.
Do you
And
remember
after-
what month it was when you were
May,
It was
May
of
45, yeah, May 9th.
May 9th of 1945. And
Yeah.
then, so when the Russians opened up, like the kitchen and everything, were you still sleeping inside the
Camp. Yeah.
Not inside the camp that the Russians set up?
No.
Not inside that building?
No,
A
no,
different
no,
building?
no. In the camp where we used to be.
Was it just the people in your camp that were serviced by the...
No, they had other people. They had their own people. The Russian army was eating there. Yeah, they cooked. What did they cook? Borscht. Borscht with meat in it, potatoes. We had to come every day to eat. For 2 weeks, I think we were there.
And what were people thinking then?
Huh?
What were people thinking then? What did people plan to do? Did people know?
Well, we wanted to go back home. We thought that we're going to find some more survivors. And a lot of people went. And we went also. We went back to Lodz
How did you get back there?
by train.
Did you have money to take the train?
No, we didn't have money. We didn't need money. Adina, wear these slippers. Don't walk around barefoot.
No one needed money to go on the train?
Everything was hefty at that time. You know. The Germans didn't bother you.
And how did the Germans react?
And we didn't have any documents. We had nothing.
Right.
And we wanted to go back home, so we went. We took the train and we went to Lodz. And when we got off in Lodz, then we were looking for the Jewish community, you know, the Jewish committee. There was a Jewish komitet in Lodz.
The one from during the ghetto time?
No, after the war,
after the war.
because Lodz was liberated in January already. You see, so they already had set up a Jewish Gemeinde, and whoever came, they helped. came to this Gemeinde, and they were looking. People were looking for family. People were looking who was left over, who survived. And there we met Turkish, a lot of people. Yeah, we met people there, and then we found out that a Shia was living there in Reisel, in Lodge.
But they had survived.
Yes, they were liberated in January already.
Where were they during?
They were in the Polish, in Poland, in the camps. So they were liberated in January.
Were they in Auschwitz? Or they were in a different camp?
Reisel was not in Auschwitz, it was in Częstochow. There was a camp in Częstochow that was in Poland. And from the ghetto they sent her to, before us. And her brother, Shia, was already in the camps since 1940. He was from the first people they sent out to camps.
He stayed in Auschwitz the whole time?
No, he was in Auschwitz. I don't know if he even was in Auschwitz. That time they were sending to Poznan. There were camps there. He was from the first one. And he survived, thank God he survived. Yeah. And Reisel met Sala in camp. They were in camp together.
Right.
And she made the shidduch. She said, if my brother will be alive, you'll make a shidduch.
That's how Sala and Shia met.
So Sala and Shia was.
Right.
But they were not married yet. And when we came in, so here, introduced Sala to my mother, and my mother, she liked her. And she was from a good family. And she only herself survived. She had nobody.
Where was she from originally?
From a little town not far from Lodz. But she was in the ghetto in Lodz also. And she had family in Lodz.
So at this time everyone was living like Sala and Riza.
Sala, Riza, and Shia, they had an
Lodz itself?
apartment. Yeah, they found an apartment in Lodz.
Did they have to pay for an apartment?
At the beginning, no, they didn't have to pay. It belonged to Jewish people anyway. So they stayed. They lived in Lodz till they left Poland.
When did they leave Poland?
When they left, we left in 1946, 45, 46. They came to Germany.
How did they leave? How did they get papers to leave Poland?
We didn't. I didn't have pay. I still don't have my birth certificate. We didn't have any papers. Because in Warta was everything ruined. It was destroyed. That time we couldn't get any papers. Today you can get. They have copies. But that time when we were there, we couldn't get anything. Because they bombed some places in our town. So, but we didn't have any papers, and we went there to this committee, and we found my Savta found cousins. Heinach's brother was there, and he told us about my father. Not survived.
Heinach was together with your father?
Heinach, no.
So how did he know?
Heinach's brother.
Heinach's brother?
Well, he came back already before. So he met a lot of people from our town that was together with my father. And they knew, they told him.
You said, I know the story that you told me about your father when he went out to get food for people. Was that from Auschwitz? Or he was
Not in
sent
Auschwitz.
also to a different camp?
No,
from
this
Auschwitz?
was an Arbeitslager.
The same way that you were sent to an Arbeitslager?
Yeah, right.
Do you know which camp it was?
I always forget, either Buchenwald or Blachhammer. Between these two camps I get mixed up. I think it was Buchenwald. It was in the Polish borders. Adina, are you hungry?
Do you know when you were sent to Merzdorf, did you know where your father was, or you didn't know until after the war?
After the war.
I remember when you met my friend from Barnard, and you said that it was her father, Levine, but I don't know what Livia Mensch.
Oh, Mensch,
You
yeah.
said that it was her.
Her grandfather was together with my father.
And he was the one who saw what happened.
He was the one, and his brother, there are a few brothers. There were a few brothers. Yeah, one of his brothers was Minya's brother-in-law. He married Minya's sister.
Ah.
Her grandfather's brother.
So it was his.
He saw, he was a witness. He told us when my father got killed.
Was he also from the Lodz Ghetto?
I don't know if he was in the Lodz Ghetto. He's from a little town not far from our town. I don't know, I didn't know him in the ghetto. There were maybe 4 or 5 brothers. They survived, a few of them. I think 2 lived in Israel. I think those 2 are already, they're not alive. Another one, I think only 2 of them are left. Her grandfather and Minya's brother-in-law.
And so you went after 2 weeks in Merzdorf, after the Germans left.
Yeah.
You went with Safta to Lodz. And did you start to live there also?
No, then we found out nobody is there. We went back to Varta. And there were a few Jews that survived, they came back.
To Varta.
To Varta, yeah. And we came back, we went to our house. We have a house. But the Poles that lived there, 2 families, they didn't let us in.
What happened? You knocked on the door?
Yeah, and one big guy came out. And he says, he lives there. And the other one also, they live there already since the war. They're not going out. It's their apartment.
And what did you say? Did you tell them that it had been your home?
Yeah, they knew it was our house.
Were they people you knew before the war?
Yeah, sure.
And did they?
It's a small town. They knew whose house this was.
And how did they respond to the fact that you guys were still alive?
Oh, wow, they were not very happy. They thought that everybody is killed, that nobody survived. So they were not happy, but finally they gave us one little, where we had our office. This they gave us, there were 2 little rooms there. This they gave us to stay in. So we stayed there for a while. In the beginning, my mother tried to scrape together some things. We left some stuff with the Poles.
Before the war?
When the war broke out, we knew we were going to be sent out. So we gave 1 bed, 2 beds we gave away to a Polish couple. They should save it and some other things. But when we came back, one family said she doesn't have it. The Germans took it from her.
Is that true?
I don't know. But the other one, they were nicer people. They were customers of us. It was across the street from us. She had one, so she paid us for it. And that's how my mother tried to survive. We should make a few dolls, a few slots from here and there, whatever we could sell. And then we bought a sewing machine. The Russians were there in Poland. The Russian army was there everywhere. because Poland was occupied by the Russians
Right.
at that time.
So was it communist?
I was communist, yeah. So my mother wanted, and they were robbing all the German stores, and they brought to Poland lots of things.
Mm-hmm.
One soldier had a sewing machine, a new sewing machine. And for a bottle of vodka, my mother bought a machine. And maybe 2 bottles of vodka, I don't know how much she gave her. Anyway, I got the machine, and I started to sew. And people knew my grandmother, that they were my grandmother's customers. She was working, she was making for them. You know, she was sewing shirts for the men and for women, and they thought that my mother knows how to work. But my mother did never make these things. My mother was an embroidery, you know. She could make embroidery on a
Right.
machine.
You knew how to sew.
But I knew, you know, during the war, my grandmother was teaching me.
Right.
And I got a shirt, a men's shirt, and I opened it. I took it apart, and I bought some material, and I put together. I made a shirt, a men's shirt. I had an order, and we sold. We gave it to some Polish family what they wanted. They ordered it. And that's how we made a living for this. We got some flour, some bread, some eggs, some butter, you know, some products. We should have, and the people that owned the mill of flour, they were also our customers. They gave us flour or nothing. And some were good, they wanted to help, but others, they were very upset that so many Jews still lived. And 50 people survived from the whole town. After we left, 2 of them were killed. 2 Jewish boys which survived.
Well, how were they killed?
How? The Poles. They had a, how you call it, a revolution, not a revolution, but they had an uprising. In Celts, they killed a lot of
Right.
Jews.
I remember.
Yeah. And we heard what's going on. I said to my mother, I don't want to stay here. Let's get out.
Was the plan originally to stay in Britain?
No. Plan was we're not going to stay, but the sooner we get out, the better. What we going to do there? We were 2 women. There was the Russian army there. We were afraid. My mother was afraid for me, you know. Who knows what they can do? They were very wild. They could come into houses and then rape the girls and do all kinds of... So we picked ourselves up, me and my mother, and we schlepped to a train station. There was no train station in our town. We had to walk a few kilometers.
How long was this after you had got into Varta that you left?
2 months. We came into May, June, July, August, maybe we started to wander around again. And we wanted to go to the American zone because Savta had aunts in America, you know, but she didn't remember the address. She had no way to get in touch with them. They didn't know that we survived. So we were gonna go to the German zone. Not so easy. Oh my.
To get to the American zone? How did you...
Oh, we were hanging out from trains with a backpack on my back, and that's all. That's how we...
You were just holding on to the outside of trains? How come you didn't go inside?
There was no room, it was full.
Wow. Wow.
we went from one place to another place. We went. Of course, we had to go cross over the Polish border to the Czech border. We were walking through forests, and walking and sleeping on the floors in German places, you know.
How did people treat you during that time?
Well, that time they were sorry for the Jews because they knew the Jews suffered a lot.
This was the Germans or the Poles?
In the beginning was not still the Germans yet, no. First we had to go through Poland, and then we had to go to Czechoslovakia.
Did you sleep in any of like the homes of Polish villagers as you were going to Germany?
Yeah, we were sleeping. We met other people on the way.
Who were doing the same thing?
Yeah, so we had the groups. So we slept one night here, one night in another place. And then they decided we should split up because it's not good to go with a group. If we go separate, then you could easier get through the border.
Get through the Czech border.
Yeah.
Who was in control of Czechoslovakia then?
Also the Russians.
But it was still a problem to get through the border?
Yeah. We didn't have no papers. We had nothing. No money, no papers.
So what happened when you got to the border?
We got through the border. We went through Czech border. We were telling them we're going to Palestine.
Was that where you really wanted to go to the American zone at that point?
Yeah, but first we have to get over the border. We cannot, from there we cannot go to Palestine. So,
Why? Would they be more amenable to hearing that you wanted to go to Palestine?
Yeah.
Why?
Because the Jews were always supposed to go to Palestine. The Polish always were saying, Jews to Palestine. Żydy do Palestyny. Żydy should go to Palestine. So they let us through, and then we went on trains again. In Czechia, we wanted to go to Prague. And from Prague, we get to the German border from there. So we went on a train. We had no tickets, we had nothing. And the conductor went one way, we went the other way. And we met a Czech man, and he became friendly with us.
A Jewish man or just
No, a Czech. And he wanted to find out what we're doing, where we're going. And we were telling him that we're going to Prague, we have there some friends, we made up a story, you know. We have some friends, they're waiting for us there.
Did he know you were Jewish?
Yeah. And he said, oh, you can come with me. He offered we should come with him to his house. His mother said, no, we have to go to Prague. We didn't know anybody in Prague.
Right.
But we knew Prague has a Jewish community. That time already they had like a Jewish committee, and some people were passing by there and going to other places. So anyway, we got off in Prague. We're off the station. Where are we gonna go? One street is the same as the other one. We started walking. We started walking.
Were you scared then to tell people that you were Jewish?
No. It was not by the Germans, so we were not scared. Life was not very valuable that time. We were not scared, I don't know. We walked. We didn't think. And we walked in the street, and suddenly Savta saw a nice lady walking. And Savta was not shy. She walked over to her and she looked at her and she looked. And the woman looked like Jewish. My mother asked her, Amchu? We had the word after the war, Amcha. Are you Amchu?
That's what everyone used to say.
Amcha? So she said, yeah, she's Jewish. So where do you live? She lives not far from here, she says. She's Polish, from Poland.
Mm-hmm.
And she lives now in Prague. And she has a husband and a child.